So Brendan Schaub might be making a comeback, but probably won't be making a comeback. But I just thought I'd talk about this. So Brian Callen is trying to get Brendan Schaub fucking assassinated in the fucking octagon. Like I don't know. I think Brian Callen's like being sick of. He must be real sick of Brendan Schaub at this point because he's trying to get this man assassinated in the fucking cage. Brendan Schaub hasn't fought since 2014, and Brian Callen's been like constantly trying to get this man to fight in bare knuckle MMA fight for Game Bread Promotions. So this all started because Jorge Masvidal was like, offering Brendan Schaub a bare knuckle fight. First he was saying, we'll get you Derek Lewis, and Brendan was like, yeah, if I can grapple, I'll fight Derek Lewis. But now Derek Lewis is like 100% re-signed with the UFC, so it won't be Schaub versus Lewis, unfortunately, if Brendan Schaub does come back. But Brian Callen is literally trying to get this guy to fight again. Like he's like peer pressuring Brendan Schaub into fighting again. And I wouldn't mind seeing Brendan Schaub fight again if you can get him the right opponent. Oh my god, it's like I don't know. It's just why not? Why doesn't he come back? Imagine seeing a report in a few weeks. We see breaking PFL announces Brendan Schaub versus Francis Ngannou for like 2024. It's like I don't know, but yeah, when Brendan Schaub started comedy, everyone laughed at him when he said he was going to be a stand-up comedian, but now he's a stand-up comedian. Nobody's laughing now, So maybe I just had to get that in there. That's going to be the thumbnail, so I just had to get that joke in there. But nothing against Brendan Schaub. I don't think he really needs to come back at this point. He's got the Below the Belt. He's got the Fighter and the Kid podcast. He has that. He's got like all these shows he does. Like, what's that show he does with what's the food? Oh yeah, Food Truck Diaries. I thought it was Food Truck Diaries, but I thought that was like I don't know. That sounds so mainstream. Well, good on him. Because I was trying to remember the name of it, but Food Truck Diary sounds like some like mainstream show you would see on like network television. But yeah, so he's got plenty of stuff going on for him. So it's like, does he really? Actually, does he still make Food Truck Diaries? Don't think he does. No, but still, he's got plenty of stuff going on for him. So I don't think he needs to go have a fight. But if he does, why don't you do Brendan Schaub versus like Alexei Olenek? Olenek's out of the UFC and he's on the regional scene fighting and stuff like that. Why don't you do Brendan Schaub versus Alexei Olenek? Why not? I know it's random, but I don't know. Just if the guy's going to come back for a comeback, give him someone, get him on a card. I don't know. Brendan Schaub's like a big name now because of his whole comedy shtick and people not liking him. So it's like if he wanted to fight, he could literally probably have like a big card, and then you could, have some like rising regional talent on the card, and then that would help their name grow. That would be the best thing that would come from this if it was to happen, if Brendan Schaub does come back. But yeah, no, I don't think Brendan Schaub's going to come back. Joe Rogan is like entirely against this idea, and Brendan Schaub lives his life by the words of Joe Rogan. So I think Joe Rogan's going to convince him, like he convinced him to retire on the JRE. I think he's going to convince Brendan Schaub not to take a bare knuckle MMA fight against anybody. But hey, who knows? Maybe we'll see a report breaking Shane Carwin out of retirement versus Brendan Schaub out of retirement. I don't know. We'll see something crazy like that probably. But I don't know. It'd be cool to see the guy fight at this point because he's a big name now with the whole stand-up comedy and his a lot of controversy he's had. So it'd just be good to see him fight at this point. But I don't think he's going to do it. He has too much to lose at this point. Getting knocked out again at this point in his life probably isn't ideal. So I doubt we're going to see Brendan Schaub come back. But I would have loved to have seen him versus Derek Lewis though. That would have been a funny ass build up. Like Derek Lewis called him out back in the day, but obviously that's not going to happen because uh, you know, Derek Lewis is in back in the UFC, so we're definitely not going to be seeing this Derek Lewis versus Brendan Schaub fight. But maybe we'll see Brendan Schaub fight somebody in some capacity. But I doubt it. His ego as well. Like he's not going to want to get knocked out at this point. He's like, I know he got knocked out in his last fight by Travis Brown, but he doesn't want to get knocked out again. That will really hurt his ego. So I think we're not going to see Brendan Schaub fight again, but it would be funny to see him fight again. But yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. Brian Callen is literally trying to get him assassinated, though. Like, generally, he's trying to have him, like, executed in the cage. Because I don't know, if you're friends with Brendan Schaub and you've seen the amount of damage he took in his last few fights, why would you be, like, trying to get him to go have another fight? Like, I don't know. Brian Callen, you're a horrible friend. Like, I don't know. Do you even like Brendan Schaub? Because, like, you're generally trying to get this guy fucking nuked. Like, yeah, you're trying to get this man taken out. But hey, maybe I don't know. Maybe there's more to the story than that. Maybe Schaub does Big Brother Callan a lot. He's talking about how he could do all these. I'll he says he can do some weird things to Brian Callen, and he wouldn't be able to stop it. So maybe Brian Callen wants Schaub to get nerfed a little bit more. Another knockout, but I don't know. I just thought I'd talk about this because why not? I keep seeing all this stuff about Schaub coming back, but I highly doubt he's going to come back. Didn't even seem like he was too into it. It just seems like Brian Callen is really trying to uh, get him back in there. Like, I don't know. He's like the main force behind this movement, which, like I say, shows he's a terrible friend. Like, generally, at least to Brendan Schaub, he's not a very good friend, but I don't know. Maybe he should come. Actually, maybe Brendan Schaub should come back against Brian Callen. That'd be a good little comeback fight. Settle the beef. But yeah, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll probably make a few more videos today, and also the podcast with MMA Commonwealth Connection episode will come out tonight. So yeah, keep on the lookout for that. So yeah, thanks. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.